I've been playing music for over 10 years now. Honestly, it's all I know how to do. It's how I process things, it's how I exist in the world. And when I started writing songs as a teenager, I was just trying to work through things that I struggled to talk about out loud, which honestly is still the case. I put up videos online with no real aim in mind, and over time ended up building a fiercely loyal audience. When I finished school, I moved to London straight away. You can imagine how scared my parents were sending me off abroad to try and be a pop star. And those first couple of years were rough. In parts, I was absolutely broke, I was lost, but over time, it came together. And I met people who would become my best friends. I met my band. After a lot of trial and error, I met my dream collaborators, built a small but mighty team around my project. That all these puzzle pieces are in place, I think there's only one thing left for me to do: an album. We're here in Middle Farm Studios in Devon, where we're recording my debut album. We're coming to the end of 3 whole weeks here, and we've just tracked the final vocal, and it feels pretty amazing to be done. Let's do vocals and then deal with this last bit. Okay, bye. Wait till she's gone, then get the other singer down and replace the lot. I think it's kind of fun to trace it back to where it all began. Back in Dublin in the kitchen, a plate talking to my mom. She was standing by the oven. Just packing up to go. Everything's ready. Holy shit balls. It's happening. Good to go.
It's day one. Day one.
Hello there. It's such a dad cam.
I'm shaky from my coffee already.
We're just about to set drums up for the first track that we're gonna do, which is called Things That I've Learned. I feel so excited and ready to start. I just can't believe it's happening. I can't believe it's happening. I can't believe it's happening.
Teeth, man.
The new pepper grind click track.
Nothing's changed from when she was a kid, just showing off in front of the camera.
It's a pressure that I'm putting on myself for this album to be great. And maybe not even great, for this album to just be very me. I think that's mainly what I want out of this whole process, is not for it to do any certain thing, but for it to be something I can be proud of and something that can feel like a very undiluted version of me.
Sick.
I demoed all the songs before we got here, and they were so close to my chest and so intimately me. You know, I programmed the drum sounds, I sang every vocal and every harmony and every little detail. I love knowing exactly what's going on. You definitely learn your own voice a lot. Yeah, it's good. I definitely prefer doing this bit myself. Reminder, we all become our mother in the end. Oh, bit pitchy. It's good to do, but also you hear details in your voice that like no one else would ever hear, so that's like both good and bad, I think. Reminder, we all become our mother in the end. I saw her as an equal, as a friend on the playground. First verse doesn't do that. Don't know why I did that.
Spitting bars.
First verse didn't do that. I think surrendering a little bit of control has been difficult for me at times, because I was very close to the demos in the state that they were in before we came here to Middle Farm, and I was really happy with how they sounded. I knew they could be better. I knew I wanted real drums. I knew I wanted vocals that were recorded better. I knew I wanted these different things, but I was also happy with them. So I think me learning to like open that up to the floor and surrender a little bit of that control was like necessary, but definitely difficult. Finding that balance of like ownership to release to the floor, how vulnerable that can be, like was definitely difficult at times, but it helps that I've curated a group around me that I trust in such a massive way.
I need slap.
Oh, you did okay, yeah.
Good work really hard, okay?
That's good, man.
There's that. I like this one.
I was doing the rounds in London, soul searching. It really is like speed dating, the producer search. Like, it's so much about finding someone who intimately gets you and what you're going for. I was really growing a bit of confidence in my own production skills, and I was demoing a lot and thinking, I really like what I'm coming up with by myself, so I really need a partner in this more than anything. I don't need to be given everything. So Tom is my co-producer on this record. He also co-produced Freckle Season with me, which was my last EP. And when we made that EP, I knew immediately I wanted to do something longer. I think both of us were like, that was really fun, let's do more. And I was like, well, it can only be so long. So yeah, he's the perfect creative partner for me. I think he gives me so much space to do my thing, and he's so up for starting from my demos and putting my ideas in, and I think I've really, under him and with him and alongside him, like grown as a producer in my own right, and that's something that I love.
Oh, it was. That does sound.
That's very
That's definitely
Swedish.
very Swedish. Oh no, you're still on very Swedish.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, just be like quite sloppy about it and don't worry about the note. Just be like, of course. I love your vocal fry and
Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
just do as many as you did before.
Hold on, something feels phasy and weird.
Something feels phasy and weird.
Is
It's
it-
because all of
Yeah.
the monitoring is on. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Cool.
Okay, 2 bars in basically, I think,
Cool.
or 1.5.
Oh, I've got a sore throat now.
Glad we got that on the film.
So I know you've been wondering about the meaning of life, and the good thing is I've got it, but...
Sing the chorus.
Okay, sorry. Stop being funny. You can leave it all behind. Just get that beat in the bloodline. Oh, in the bloodline. Just get that beat in the bloodline. And you've been hiding all your life. It's time. Just get that beat in the bloodline. Oh, in the bloodline. I think the first time that Tom and I wrote together, just something clicked, and I thought, God, it's just easy. Like, it can be this easy.
Yes! You're so good at music and your job's so viable!
I've never recorded with my band before this album. It's always been a case of making the demos, keeping them very close to my chest, often programming the drums or playing the bass in myself, then bringing it to the band when it's all mixed and mastered, and being like, all right, let's like make this work on stage. I thought recording the drums for this album was so fun and not an experience like anything else I'd had before, because Pete, who engineered the album and owns Middle Farm Studios here, is known for his amazing drum sounds. And when you hear them being whacked in this room, you understand why. We recorded drums in so many different rooms and spaces here, like a really dry and tiny room for a song called More Like You, where the drums sound like they're being whacked by like a tiny little baby monkey or something. So like it wouldn't want to be in this big room. So that was amazing. A lot of bigger, grittier songs, drums were in here, very roomy. And then there's Pat, who owns Studio B here. And we recorded some drums in there, and they sound totally different as well. And understanding drums a little bit more and how they can sound has been a big learning curve. So that's been a really fun part of this. Even though this is my project, I think there is like a huge amount of collaboration because, you know, I want to write parts for them that suit them and their style of playing and their personality because they've given me so much. So I want that to work both ways.
We go like this.
Hi, it's us.
It's only us.
It's only us.
We just smashed it.
We got told. That was flawless. Now, you can't learn that. You
Just sent it.
can't learn that. You can only experience it, all right? So, enjoy that one.
Tape's just finished. We're going to listen back.
Sarah is an absolute force. She's so funny.
What up?
And
Finished my
she brings so
tape.
much energy. She's a super rocky drummer, so she brings out a side of me that I like. That is a little bit grittier, and it makes me want to write to that. You know, it makes me want to write, you know, amazing drum parts for her to play, and it makes me want to like dig into the guitar a little bit more to like level that up. And there's a few songs on the last EP, there's one called Figure It Out that I think was totally born out of just wanting a really trashy, head-banging, gritty song for Sarah to like whack the tubs on. And then Pete Danes is one of my best friends in the world. He was the first person I've ever really played music with in London when I was looking for a band. So, you know, he's really been a massive part of my project for the last few years. So to get him here recording his own parts and choosing his own tones and just like having that ownership over his part was actually like really emotional. Like it felt very full circle and felt like very right to give him his part in this album. What is Pete? God, what is Pete? He's everything.
Question number one was which horse sauce was it? Was it A, Tabasco? B, sweet. C, Y, or D, cow? You went with the answer on my. That's right, you got £100.
I don't know what Pete is, but I say that with love. Tom,
Oh my god, please.
nerd, said with love. Loves a
Having a little
Guinness.
Guinea.
Really into chiseling now. I've lost him to the chiseling. He's chiseling a spoon. He doesn't care about comping my vocal anymore, but that's fine. I feel like Tom is so talented. It's not even fair. He's so versatile. And one thing I love about Tom is he's always trying to make something new and exciting and just move things forward. And I love that. And then Nathan is super considerate, very in tune with me, and also a nerd. Also a nerd. So the two, Tom and Nathan together are just ultimate nerd power. But yeah, jokes aside, I feel like Nathan was so important for this album. His musical brain is insane, and he was just so involved in the lead up to Middle Farm. He wrote some of these songs with me, he produced, he played on so many. He's incredibly good at building big, emotive, dramatic textural layers, and yeah, he's definitely an important part of this album.
That feels good?
Yeah. Ego is a scary thing. I don't think it wants to be like mad prose, I think it wants to be quite... That's cool.
A little bit faster. Chorus echo, space echo.
I quite like how those doubles fall in.
The rolling hills of South Devon, the rolling hills of South Devon, the rolling hills of South Devon, the rolling hills of home.
Love it. I have been hearing about Middle Farm from so many friends for so long. And every single time I speak about leaving London and actually getting out into the countryside to really focus on something, there's been someone going, Middle Farm, have you thought of Middle Farm? And Pete, who runs the studio here, who is an absolute wizard of sound, he is very renowned and respected in music for just so many things. He engineered the album and everything we recorded here. And I think adding him into the mix of the people that were already involved, to me, felt like such a fun wild card. And he's so good at being like, okay, cool, and I'm also gonna plug in this toy microphone, and I'm also going to track it through the lamp, but I'm also gonna put my phone upside down underneath you while you do a vocal, then I'm gonna invert it, flip it, run through the space echo, and you're just like, okay. So I think this place is amazing, and Pete is amazing, and the two of them together are extra amazing.
Sorry.
I think Pete has curated the perfect space for anyone to make anything.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
All right. Sit every brain cell in my head, staring at my phone in bed. Don't even know what I was feeling as I stared up at the ceiling. My mother tells me I look tired, but what does she know? I'm clearly alright, apart from every morning spent wishing that I was still sleeping. Yeah, I guess I could be happier. I suppose I could be less of a dick. And yes, I've been a regular at the bar where you drink, 'cause I like how you think. Oh, Madison, Madison, oh, I've been thinking how you been, I told you every single secret inside that silent. I needed you then, now I need you again, Madison. God, you wear that shirt so well. If you're not perfect, I can't tell. And can I be your sister or your daughter or your house plant in a corner? Then I'd be happier, 'cause I'd never have to think for myself. So can I call you? Can I see you? Oh,
Wait, is that A box or B box?
All right. Sweaters off. No messing about. Yeah, I think it wants to be really layered, but not like shouty. Quite loose. We never talk about difficult things.
Watch out.
Oh.
Okay.
Go.
And we should all face
Now.
away.
Yeah.
We never talk about difficult things. We never talk about difficult things.
Quick swap places.
We never talk about difficult things. We never talk about difficult things.
Sick. That's the same.
Lovely.
Fun part to sing.
Oh. All right.
Flatten to new tracks.
So I found some very old camcorder tapes in my attic at home that my dad's definitely forgotten about, and I took them to get digitized and just found...
Happy birthday. Who's going to the party? Orla, you're in the photograph.
That's my sister.
Orla, you're ruining everyone's photograph.
Just a lot of me being a little dick, basically. And this song's about my family, so I'm gonna put it in a coded way. A little bit in the intro, and then a little bit in the other bits. I want to keep you going for a bit. Don't wanna run away, but you don't get me. So I don't wanna run away, but you don't get me. I keep it all in, 'cause we never talk about difficult things. We never talk about difficult things. I've been thinking a lot about who this album is for, because I do have people that have supported me for a really long time, and they've made do with singles and EPs. Now I'm moving on up in the big boy album LP world. And so in a way, this album is for them, definitely. And in another way, maybe it'll be for people that don't know me yet. But I think I want to make it for me. And I was so set on, like I said, getting the band involved. I was so set on getting a massive, big, fuck-off whiteboard. And I've always wanted to do that, get all the instruments and just tick them off. I wanted it to be fun and an experience, and I didn't want to be slave driving everyone here doing long days, and I mean, we did do a lot of long days and a lot of late nights, but we also have made time all the time to go out on big walks and make amazing food for each other, and it just be an experience in itself, because God knows what happens after this. I don't know, maybe album's gonna go out of fashion, maybe they kind of already have, but I don't really care about that because it's kind of for me. It's true.